hope you're having a great day. I want to talk today about a whole grain called millets. We've all heard about this. We hear different reviews about millets being healthy. Does millets make you put on weight? Are millets good for diabetics? If you're a thyroid patient, are millets good for you? There are so many myths, and yet there's so much of science about the health benefits of millets. So we're going to understand today how you can incorporate this amazing grain. That's if you eat grains into your diet. A lot of people choose not to eat grains, and that's absolutely fine. Everyone's different, everyone's unique. Remember, what works for someone doesn't have to work for you. Always remember that. Okay, before that, I would like to thank every one of you who sent in birthday wishes yesterday. It kind of touched me. It made me feel really, really good to see so many wishes pouring in from different parts of the world. I did have a great birthday. It was with friends, it was with family, it was at home. It was a beautiful day. So thank you so much for your wishes. Now let's get straight into it. Millets isn't something new. Millets have existed in Asia and Africa for the longest time. It's a whole grain. It is noted for its high protein availability, and that's why in a lot of hospitals, especially in South India and parts of India and even Africa, millets is the standard protocol used for patients to help with recovery, because number one, it's gluten-free. So if you are celiac or you're trying to avoid gluten because of your thyroid function or because it creates inflammation in your gut, or you have acidity, bloating, IBS, constipation, a Hashimoto's thyroid, or an autoimmune condition, okay, you don't have to worry about buying ultra-processed gluten-free products. You have choices of rice, you have choices of millets. Millets are gluten-free, high in protein, high in fiber, high in antioxidants. Antioxidants help us with inflammation. Inflammation is the root cause of most diseases. Too many of us have chronic inflammation, and that's why when we have chronic inflammation, we need to eat foods which have antioxidants. They basically neutralize free radicals and bring down the level of inflammation. So there are several millets. You would have heard it in different ways. You have pearl millets, you have foxtail, you have proso, you have finger, you have kodo, you have barnyard. So many. In India, they're known as jowar, they're known as ragi, all of that stuff. There are several of them. What we really like about it from a scientific point of view is the amount of essential amino acids it has. As you know, there are amino acids. You have non-essential and you have essential. Any foods that contain the whole spectrum of essential or more of the essential are really healthy, and that's why it makes it a really good food with protein in. Now, a lot of people get confused. They'll say, but Luke, it's a carb. Yes, but it doesn't mean it cannot have protein. It's like nuts. Nuts have fat, but it also has protein and a whole load of other micronutrients. So yes, calcium, it's a rich source of calcium. So people who are dairy-free, people who cannot have dairy, people who have bone problems and need to increase the amount of calcium, just through supplementation isn't the right way, because too much of calcium supplements also creates other problems with the heart and with the kidney. But we should aim to get calcium from natural sources like sesame seeds, great source of calcium. Millets, great source of calcium, so it's great for your bone health. Millets are also great for lowering inflammation, like I said, so they're great for your nerve health. It's great for your blood vessel health. It's great for muscle contraction. We need muscle contraction, otherwise we get stiffness, we get soreness in our muscles, and it can also reduce mobility. So that's what millets are good for. What I like about millets when it comes to the micronutrients is what it contains, phenolic compounds. Phenolic compounds has everything to do with our immune system, with our skin, with our hair, with the functioning of our vital organs. It contains catechins. Catechins, you would have heard, are also found in green tea and matcha tea, making that particular tea a superfood. We know how healthy green tea is today. Medical science is recommending that people consume green tea or matcha tea because of the catechins found in it. It's also rich in something called ferulic acid, which plays a huge role in reducing inflammation. So post-surgery, when you're going through heavy treatments like chemotherapy or radiation or steroids, where the inflammation is a lot in your body, you want to have foods which contain ferulic acid, and one of them are millets, anti-inflammatory. Now, here's the interesting part. A lot of doctors across our country, as well as nutritionists, are recommending millets for diabetes. Okay, it doesn't create a spike in your blood sugar levels. It's much lower in GI than most other refined grains, and it can lower your blood sugar levels. But let me tell you something very interesting. Again, everyone is different. I remember having a couple of diabetic patients. We switched them to millets because millets was actually lowering the blood sugar spike in many of our diabetics. But a couple of them, it was actually increasing. So then we put a CGMS monitor on, which is a continuous glucose monitoring system. And we realized that certain millets, for certain people, while in some people it lowers our blood sugar levels, in other people, a millet like ragi was actually shooting up their blood sugar levels. So again, you don't blame the food. You talk about the uniqueness of the person. So is it right that I can say millets will lower all of your diabetes out there? No, in most cases it does. But in some cases, you got to be aware it can actually spike up your blood sugar. You will only know if you try. And you will only know if you're mindful when you try. So living with awareness, living with consciousness is extremely important for us to see which food suits us and which doesn't. I would like to talk about the health benefits of almonds. And while it suits many people, it doesn't suit some people. It doesn't make an almond a bad food. It just shows us that we're all different and we're all unique. And that's why we should eat and live with consciousness and awareness. It's great for bringing down triglyceride levels as well. Again, some people report better cholesterol levels with millets, and some people there's absolutely no change. Now for thyroid patients, there's a lot of mixed signs, but I would personally not recommend that people with hypothyroidism eat a staple-based diet of millets. Maybe you can have it once a week, but making millets your primary grain is not a good idea because it can actually make your thyroid worse because of the goitrogens that are found in it. It's the same mixed science of cruciferous vegetables. You know, most nutritionists and most doctors will tell thyroid patients to stop eating cauliflower, radish, cabbage, kale, broccoli because of the goitrogens. But you can eat them cooked, you can eat them steamed. That's not a problem at all. But there's mixed science showing that when you have raw cruciferous, it can also have a positive impact on your thyroid. But we don't know, so we take the middle part and we say steam them, lightly steam them or lightly cook them. So for patients with hypothyroidism, you would be careful of millets. You will not make it your primary grain. You can have it maximum once a week or maximum twice, but it will not be your primary grain. You need to understand, while some foods have brilliant powers, there's always a downside. What's the downside of millets? They contain something called anti-nutrients, phytic acids, but that's not a problem. Phytic acids basically block the absorption of calcium, iron, zinc, and magnesium. In most cases, if you're having a balanced diet, it's negligible. But how do you overcome this? Because you still want to eat millets. By soaking it overnight, 8 to 12 hours at room temperature, you soak it. And once you soaked it, you rinse it once or twice, and then you cook it. So you get rid of the anti-nutrients and you can enjoy millets without a problem at all. Another way of breaking the phytic acid and the anti-nutrient problem is by sprouting them. You can sprout millets as well. You can buy sprouted millets or you can sprout them at home and you get away with all of the anti-nutrients and the phytic acid. So millets can be cooked like rice. It's the same way you cook rice, you cook millets. You also get millet flour. So if you're looking to move away from wheat flour and other flours and try something else, millet flours are really light, they're really tasty as well. You can try different millet flours. In fact, when you use millet flours for baking or making your breads or your rotis, the antioxidants actually get more enhanced as per science when you make it in a flour form or you use the flours for baking. So that's it about millets. There's nothing to be confused about. It's a superpower food filled with B vitamins. B vitamins is something most of us lack. B vitamins is a spectrum of B vitamins that works with metabolism of carbohydrates, fats, proteins, brain health, nerve health, hair, skin, the reproductive system, fertility, so many things. And millets contain a spectrum of B vitamins. So it's a great food. Like I say, don't overdo it. So when I talk about millets and everyone just starts eating millets every single day, no, you don't have to do that. You can have rice on one day, you can have millets on another day, you can have amaranth on another day, you can just be without grains if you want. It's up to you. But these are foods that contain superpowers if you use it the right way. And if it doesn't suit you, don't do it. So if you're diabetic, in most cases it works. But if you find your blood sugar levels behaving weirdly after having millets, you know you are one of those people where it actually spikes up your blood sugar levels. So enjoy millets. It's fun to cook with. Usually when we make millets, we fill it with a lot of vegetables. So you make it like how you would make a khichdi with rice and lentils and a lot of veggies. Millets with maybe 4 different kinds of vegetables. You can put beans, you can put spinach, you can put carrots, you can put whatever veggies you want, and it becomes like a whole meal. If you're not intolerant to dairy, you can have a cup of yogurt on the side, and it's literally a complete meal and a very, very enjoyable meal. So try it out. Even, when people finish surgery, the digestive system is very, very weak and slow. Light foods like khichdi, light foods like millets are very, very helpful in the recovery process. If you have aging parents at home where the appetite is low and they don't want to eat too much, millets is another beautiful food where you put a lot of veggies, a little bit of ginger, a little bit of hing, which is asafoetida, and you give them a small bowl of it. It's also very easy to chew, so if they have problems with their teeth, it's almost like a semi-solid food and it digests very, very easily. Have a great day, everyone. Until next time, eat smart, move more, sleep right, breathe deep, and remember, you care is all about you.